स्टूडेंट्स, हमारा आज का टॉपिक है करोजन। करोजन क्या होता है? व्हाट इज करोजन? व्हेन यू थिंक ऑफ करोजन यू थिंक ए सिंपल पिक्चर ऑफ रस्टिंग ऑफ आयरन. That definitely is the most common phenomena of corrosion you see. What is corrosion? Basically, corrosion can be taken as a slowly coating of the oxides of the metals or other salts of the metal on surface of metal. So it is a way of metal depletion. Okay, in corrosion, what happens? The metal will have oxidized to form different oxides, metal oxides and the other compounds, maybe like carbonates in some cases can have hydroxide or hydrates of oxides. So basically when you take corrosion, that is slowly coverage of the metal surfaces by the oxides or other salts of the metal. The most common example of corrosion taken is rusting of iron, which is most commonly observed by us. In corrosion, one example is rusting of iron. Other examples can also be taken, like if you take tarnishing of silver. When you take silver, new ornaments they shine, but old ornaments slowly they have some blackish color development on the silver ornaments, jewelry. Or you can take like copper or bronze. They can develop green coating on surface of the metals, because in copper case they form carbonates and hydroxides of the copper on surface by action of CO2 dissolved in air, effect of moisture, air. So that different examples can be taken, phenomena in which the metal undergoes slow depletion by development of the oxides and other salts of the metal on surface. To understand corrosion, we will study the phenomena by rusting of iron. The most common taken is rusting of iron, which we are encountering most commonly. You know the many structures, like you can take here buildings, bridges, or almost everywhere we are using metals, and iron is one of the commonly used metal in building materials, or you can take bridges or other structures in the development of infrastructures. Now what happened in rusting of iron? It causes heavy losses because of this rusting of iron. Now rusting of iron can be taken as an example of a electrochemical process. Rusting of iron, or in general we can take corrosion phenomena, are the examples of the electrochemical processes in which one part of the metal can act as anode, where oxidation of metal can take place. From air, O2 can be reduced, forming the O2 can be reduced, and then in the presence of acidic medium, which is coming from CO2 or the pollutant gases in atmosphere, which can dissolve on other surfaces. So they set up an electrochemical cell. Like in rusting of iron, when we study this topic, rusting of iron, what happens in rusting of iron? At one of the surface, if I write here, one part taken of the metal where metal can dissolve to give metal plus 2 ion, means give reaction of iron. Iron will convert to iron plus 2 ions plus liberating electrons. These electrons will move to other part, and in other part they help in reduction of O2 dissolved in water. Now what happens if you take reaction wise? The part where the oxidation of iron will take place, the spot or the surface of the metal at which oxidation take place, will set up the anode of the cell. So what we can have anode reaction here. At anode, iron get oxidized to form iron plus 2 ion plus 2 electrons. For this oxidation reaction, if you can recall the value from electrochemical series of E naught Rp, for iron we have how much standard reduction potential value? It is taken minus 0.44 volt, and these electrons they travel to the other part through the metal. Metal have conducting nature, so the electron released at one part of the metal, they travel through the metal to the other part, where they will set up on some rough surfaces. They can have water droplet put in there, and oxygen from air can dissolve in that water, and then in the presence of hydrogen plus ions. From where we can get hydrogen plus ion? Hydrogen ions can come if I take reaction like CO2 from atmosphere will dissolve in water to form H2CO3 carbonic acid, or we can take other oxides which are acidic in nature from air as pollutants. They also can dissolve in water on surfaces, which can release some hydrogen ions, which can make hydrogen ions available. And then O2 gas from atmosphere, which is dissolved in water, same water, that will be reduced with the help of electron which are coming from the iron. So if I write the reaction at cathode what happens? O2 gas will take up electrons in presence of hydrogen plus ions to form H2O. And for equating electron in both reactions, I can write here equation number 1 we can multiply by 2. So this become 4 electrons here. Now when we add for this reaction, what is E naught Rp? Reduction potential for O2 when it is reduced, it is plus 1.23 volt. Already discussed in the earlier examples in the product of electrolysis. When O2 will be reduced, the value of E naught Rp become how much? 1.23 volt. And now it is anode reaction, it is cathode reaction. We have taken electron equating. Now if we add, what the net cell reaction taken here? The net reaction become iron 2Fe solid plus O2 gas plus 4 hydrogen plus ions aqueous, giving 2Fe plus 2 plus 2 H2O. Electron will cancel out net in the reaction, so it is a balanced reaction. And in this case, what is E naught cell? If you take E naught of cathode minus E naught of anode, this E naught cell will become how much? We just add up here. You can write up for 1.67 volt. E naught value for this reaction becomes 1.67 volt, meaning it is positive. Positive value means reaction becomes spontaneous. So this reaction becomes spontaneous. The oxidation of iron at one surface, are you getting this point? Okay, and one droplet, one part will be normally rough surfaces, they promote, and then other part they will have droplet of water falling on metallic surface. They will set up this electrochemical cell. At one part of the metal, oxidation take place. Let's say iron oxidizes at one part, releasing electron go to other part through the metal, and the dissolved oxygen from air in water, dissolved oxygen from air and dissolved in water, that will take up electron in presence of acidic medium, hydrogen ions. From where we get hydrogen plus ions? Main source can be taken CO2 gas, when dissolved in water will form H2CO3 carbonic acid, which is acidic nature, release some hydrogen plus ions. Those hydrogen plus ions or the dissolution of some other acidic oxides, from air into water can provide the required hydrogen plus ion. And then reduction reaction occur when we add up both reactions. This becomes net redox reaction. Yet it is not rust. Now what happens is iron plus 2 ions are oxidized further. This iron plus 2 ions in the reaction produced are oxidized further. So when oxidation of iron will take place in presence of air and water, can give in this case what here? Fe2O3. Oxidation of iron plus 2 ion, which is produced from here, they will oxidize further in presence of air, aqueous medium. So what they can form? Fe2O3 solid and hydrogen plus ions, aqueous. And this Fe2O3 produced will undergo hydration, further hydration, Fe2O3 it combined with the, it is solid, combined with the required number of water molecules to form Fe2O3 XH2O. It is formula of the rust, chemical formula of rust taken. It is taken what here? It can be called as hydrated. It is hydrated ferric oxide. It is hydrated ferric oxide acting, or it is acting as rust. So now what happens? Rusting एक हो गया, ठीक है. Now why rusting is so dangerous or harmful? See, rust is what here? It is a non-sticky material. Rust is a non-sticky material. It does not stick and remain on surface. What happen when it is non-sticky material? आपका रस्ट बनता रहेगा, slowly it keep on departing away. So what happen? They expose the fresh surface, new surface of the metal for further rusting. So if it is not controlled, iron is not prevented for rusting, then what happen? After some time, that entire iron can undergo rust. If you take rust, without rust, you can, it is difficult to bend or to cause the change in shape. But after rust, आप करोगे तो आपका break हो जाएगा iron. अगर आपका rod दिया है तो. So meaning what? This rusting is dangerous in that way, because if you take that maintenance of buildings or bridges, it always require, or other structures made of metals or iron especially, whichever, so they require to prevent corrosion. Prevention of corrosion is very important. Anyway, it is phenomena of rusting taken till now. Now आगे कहेगा इसमें which factors can promote this rusting phenomenon of iron. We just take here acidic or basic medium. This medium is very important. This medium is very important. Hydrogen plus ions, they will help in reduction of O2 gas. So what happens if we take higher pH values? Basic medium. So what happens in higher pH values or basic medium? In basic medium conditions or higher pH values, we don't have available hydrogen. Availability of Hs are decreased. So if pH exceeds around 9 or 10, rusting will not take place of iron. So that is one point we can, that is useful or helpful in a method of designing the prevention of rusting. So one example is in basic medium or alkaline medium, rusting will not take place. If iron is kept in contact with solution which is alkaline, rusting is prevented. पहला पॉइंट. अगला होता है in some hilly areas where we have high snowfall. आप देखते हैं ना sometimes in movies that they clean the roads when the road have ice, snow falling and road blockade is there. So in those areas where there is heavy snowfall in winter season, to clean the roads, what they are using? They are using salts. Using salts, they will clean the road, because by adding salt, if you can recall from the quality properties, there is depression in freezing point. Freezing point is lowered of the water or salt solutions. So what happen when those hilly areas we are using salt for rusting, for cleaning the snow from the roads, that salt will make medium more conducting. So in those areas rusting is faster, because saline medium or salts, they increase electrical current, flow of current in the solutions. So when we have saline medium, they prevent or they promote corrosion or rusting. So in the hilly areas or mountain regions where we have high snowfall, or in the other regions when we have high snowfall, rusting is faster than the areas where we are not having snowfall. So that's the example taken here. Now some factor more which can help in or which promote corrosion, let us discuss. So in continuation, let us take here some factors which promote corrosion. These can note down directly points wise. There are several points which will promote corrosion. Like first can be taken reactivity of metal. We know this point that what is corrosion? Basically oxidation of metal to oxides of metal in the presence of air, or some other salts they can form. But in any kind of corrosion, they involve the oxidation of metal. Then which metal can be oxidized more easily? which have lower value of standard reduction potential. So the metals having lower values of standard reduction potential, which are more reactive, are undergoing corrosion more rapidly. They undergo corrosion or corrosion more rapidly. Next point can be taken, impurities. You know, pure metals, even pure iron, without any impurity, will not undergo rusting. So impurities basically they help or they promote corrosion in the metals, because impurities make them more reactive by providing some surfaces or other impurities. So impurities will promote corrosion. Next can be taken, presence of air and moisture. From air, you know that for redox reaction to happen, we should have dissolution of air, oxygen, and moisture, because in moisture the CO2 gas or sulfur dioxide gas or other nitrogen oxides, sulfur trioxide, H2S, means different kind of polluting gases also. They can dissolve in moisture or liquids, water on surfaces, and then that droplets will make up readily an electrochemical cell. They will set up electrochemical cell. The presence of air, CO2 or other polluting gases, they will make medium acidic and they promote corrosion. Agla, there are strains in the metals. Strains means like metals have sometimes rough surfaces. They can have bends, cuts, surfaces not smooth. So on the rough surfaces, they easily set up the electrochemical cell. You know, or when you observe, rusting is more rapid in the bends, cuts, nicks or scratches. They are the areas on the metal surface where the rusting is faster or corrosion is faster. Agla point है presence of electrolytes like salines, salt solutions. Salts, they will make the water more conducting. Pure water, you know, is less conducting nature. So when we have saline medium, salts, they will make the solution more conducting, improve the flow of electrons or electricity in solution. So they will promote corrosion. There are several factors which promote corrosion in the metals. Agla point है, because already seen the corrosion is harmful. Because of corrosion, even buildings can collapse sometime. Bridges are sometimes collapsing if they are not taken care of properly, or other structures made of iron, they can collapse if not taken care properly. So we have the important task of prevention of corrosion. So what can be the corrosion? Basically our aim is what in prevention of corrosion? We have to prevent the surface of the metal to come in air contact by one barrier protection. We can put some barrier. Barrier can be put in the form of painting. We can do the paint on the surface of the metals. By painting, what happens? They will prevent the contact of air, moisture with the metal surface. So they definitely prevent corrosion until the paint will develop cracks. If paint will develop cracks, again they will make the surface of the metal available for absorbing moisture, and then they can set up the cell. So painting is done one way. Applying grease or oils. Applying grease or oil on the iron surfaces. We know we are using mostly tools, machinery which are using iron metal. So we are using commonly the oils, greases. What happens? They prevent the surface of air to come in contact with moisture or water or air to prevent rusting of iron. So this is commonly for the iron machinery tools where we put the grease or the oils on the surface of the metals or iron surfaces to prevent the air contact, prevent the air and moisture contact of the metal surface. Unlike coating of iron metal with the non-corroding metals, we have several metals which are non-corroding, which can stand without corrosion. Example taken like here nickel, chromium or aluminium, which are either less reactive, very less reactive, or they can form a protective layer. They are either very less reactive or they can form a protective layer of the oxide on the metallic surface. They also prevent rusting because they will not allow the contact of air or moisture with the metal surfaces. अगला होगा sacrificial protection. यहाँ पर क्या होता है कि एक मेटल चीप है, एक मेटल कॉस्टली है, तो जो चीप मेटल होते हैं इसमें वी कैन सेक्रीफाइस, और द स्ट्रक्चर मोर इंपॉर्टेंट वन इज देयर. वी हैव वन स्ट्रक्चर मोर इंपॉर्टेंट विच वी वांट टू प्रोटेक्ट. तो फॉर प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ दैट मोर इंपॉर्टेंट स्ट्रक्चर वी कैन सेक्रीफाइस सम अदर स्ट्रक्चर विच आर लेस इंपॉर्टेंट टू अस. तो दैट इज कॉमनली टेकन. वी आर यूजिंग व्हाट हियर, वी आर यूजिंग ए sacrificial electrode like made of magnesium or zinc. These metals are what? They are more reactive than iron. So we put one electrode so that can be direct in contact with the metal surfaces whose protection required, or can be through a wire they can be put in contact. So what happens in this case? The electrode of zinc or magnesium, which are called as sacrificial electrodes, they get slowly oxidized, and until they are available the metal which is less reactive will not be oxidized. So we are sacrificing some metals to prevent the other metal from protecting. This method is called as sacrificial protection. This method is called as sacrificial protection. आपका लास्ट होता है using anti-rust solutions. Using anti-rust solutions in iron surface prevention, to prevent iron surface from rusting. We are using what here? These solutions are basically alkaline solutions of phosphate or chromate. These solutions are alkaline solutions of phosphate or chromate. These solutions will decrease the availability of hydrogen. We have discussed earlier that in rusting we have one cathode reaction which is quite important: reduction of oxygen. Reduction of oxygen which require hydrogen plus ions, which require H plus ions. Now what happens in alkaline medium or using alkaline solutions of phosphate or chromate? They will decrease the availability. They decrease the availability of hydrogen plus ions. By decreasing availability of hydrogen plus ions, they will not make the second reaction to happen, and that way they can prevent rusting. And moreover, definitely they will cover surface by formation of phosphate or other insoluble layers of the anti-rusting solutions on the metal surfaces. So when we put or apply this anti-rust solutions on the metallic surfaces, they will prevent rusting of the iron. So it is a topic taken, rusting of iron, in details we will explain, and under heading corrosion. Because mostly when we take corrosion, we think of the picture coming in mind is rusting of iron. That is very important because iron is used every time in our life, almost everywhere. घर रहते हैं वहाँ तो आपका आयरन, बिल्डिंग स्कूल जहाँ पढ़ने आते हैं वो उसका आयरन, दे आर यूजिंग आयरन, और ऑलमोस्ट एवरीवेयर व्हीकल्स सब में आयरन यूज करते हैं. सो डेफिनेटली दिस रस्टिंग प्रिवेंशन इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. दैट टू शुड बी चीपर मेथड्स एंड अदर इफेक्टिव मेथड्स. ओके, सो इट इज योर टॉपिक rusting and prevention corrosion. Topic is over. Now the last topic in chapter remaining is our conductance. In that part, conductance, we will study about different terms involved first, like resistance, conductance, conductivity, resistivity, cell constant, molar conductance, equivalent conductance. Then you can study effect of dilutions on conductances or molar or conductivities, or we study finally Kohlrausch law and application of Kohlrausch law. Again in that topic, especially Kohlrausch law is very important, or its applications of Kohlrausch laws are very important for us, in which you get questions frequently in your entrance examinations. Okay, so let us start next topic here about conductance. Hello students, now we take our next topic, conductance. In the given chapter electrochemistry, this is the last topic, conductance, where we will study about first difference of the metallic conductance and electrolytic conductance. Then we will study about different terms involved in conductance like resistance, resistivity, cell constant, conductivity, molar conductance, equivalent conductance, and then study effect of dilution on conductances. Then we study about Kohlrausch law and its applications. Again, these terms are quite important. Kohlrausch law especially is important, or sometimes you get questions in calculation of molar and equivalent conductance in your questions given to you. So first we take about here conductance category wise. We can study conductance in two parts. One is called as metallic conductance and second called as electrolytic conductance. It is the term meaning I think is clear. What is metallic conductance? Conductance in metals is called as metallic conductance. Conductance in metals wires, metal pieces is called as metallic conductance. Whereas in solutions, when we take conductance in solutions is called as electrolytic conductance. The substances which are dissolving and in solution give ions are called as electrolytic substances, and when we take their solutions and which are showing conductance which is called as electrolytic conductance. So basically we will take difference wise. In metallic conductance, electrons are the charge carrier. Electrons are charge carrier. That the conductance in this case is due to flow of electrons. In this case the conductance is because of flow of electrons, whereas in this case the conductance is due to flow of ions. Conductance here is due to flow of ions. Flow of ions. So if it is taken in solid state, ionic compounds will not show any conductance because they are not able to move. But in molten state or aqueous solutions, in molten state or in aqueous solutions, ions can migrate, ions can move. So the flow of ions is there in electrolytic conductance. Okay. The next difference can be taken here. When we take in metallic conductance, here there is no physical or chemical changes. No physical or chemical changes during conductance. Whereas in the electrolytic conductance, they can involve both. They can involve both physical as well as chemical changes. As well as chemical changes. If you can just recall the topic taken, electrolysis. What was happening in electrolysis? That we have a solution, maybe molten or aqueous solution, which contain anions. Anions were going to anode, and at anode oxidation reaction take place, and at cations in solutions they go to cathode, and at cathode reduction reaction take place. So they involve definite redox reactions. They involve definite redox reactions. So that is called chemical changes. And regarding physical changes, like suppose we take molten NaCl, Cl negative ions will go to anode, oxidation reaction take place, liberating Cl2 gas. From solution we get Cl2 gas, phase transformation. Sodium ion from solution, they can take up electron from sodium metal, reduction of sodium ion to give sodium metal at cathode. So again that is physical change. From solutions we are getting gas or solids. We can call this as physical change. Whereas in chemical changes, redox reactions are happening in the electrolytic conductances. What happens in metallic conductance? In metallic conductance, no physical or chemical change. Suppose if I take this marker, suppose is made of metal, entire piece is made of solid metal. We pass the current for some time. From one side current enter, and from second side current is going out. What happened? For some time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes current will flow, or several hours current can keep on flowing. What happened? Nothing will happen. Metal wire is made of one metal, will remain same metal. It is not vaporizing, it is not melting, no physical change, no oxidation reduction reaction take place. जितने इलेक्ट्रॉन आपके एंटर करेंगे बाहर से, उतना ही इलेक्ट्रॉन आपका बाहर निकल जाएगा. No oxidation, no reduction take place. That is the meaning of no physical or chemical changes take place during metallic conductance. In metal wire आपका जो भी वायर रखा है उसका physical state same रहेगा, और उसका oxidation reduction नहीं होता है तो हम बोलते हैं no chemical changes even take place. समझ में आया? अगला पॉइंट क्या आएगा इसमें, इन मेटेलिक कंडक्टेंस, दैट इन दिस केस द resistance is due to vibrating candles. You have discussed about this point in metallic bonding, that if we take in metallic bonding, one is called electron C model. What is electron C model? We assume the metal's outermost electrons are almost free. Why? Because metals have low ionization enthalpy. Since the metals have low ionization enthalpy, so outermost electrons of the metal atoms are held loosely. Loosely held means they can move in the entire metallic crystal freely, and in the part remaining of the metal atoms after removal of the valence electrons is called as candles. They are cations, but actually we don't have cations. We call them candles. The term is called candles. Now what happens? These candles only will cause attraction for electrons, and they will offer resistance, or they vibrate. Their vibrations of the candles at their own positions, vibration of candles at their own positions, they will offer resistance for the flow of electrons, and this point help us in predicting the effect of temperature. Effect of temperature on the conductance or resistance in the metallic wires. If you take in electrolytic conductance, what happens? In this case the resistance, so in this case the resistance is due to interionic attraction among the ions. In solution we will have anions and cations which have in them electrostatic attraction force. So that is electrostatic attraction force will give them interionic interactions or attraction forces, and due to viscosity of medium, viscosity of solvent, which will offer resistance for the flow of ions. So when we have this resistance in the solutions is because of interionic attraction forces among the cations and anions in solution, and the solvents viscosity, they will offer resistance for the, what is resistance? 1 by conductance is resistance, reciprocal of resistance is conductance, we can think that way. Now this point will help us in deciding effect of temperature, which is again very important concept, and in exam they ask question frequently on this point. क्या पूछते हैं? Effect of temperature on conductance in two cases. Now when we take metallic conductance, it decrease with rise of temperature. With rise of temperature. Why? Because when we have high temperature, these candles which are causing resistance, they start vibrating more at their own positions, and then for the flow of electrons they will cause more opposition, more resistance. So what happened? Because of increased kinetic energy of the candles, they start vibrating more at their own positions, and then they offer more resistance for the flow of electrons. So what happens is metallic conductance decrease with rising temperature. आप पढ़ते हैं ना सुपर कंडक्टिविटी कहाँ मिलता है आपको है? At extremely low temperature, when temperature approach nearly 0 Kelvin, they offer no resistance. They offer no resistance because at that time we can have practically zero resistance or extremely negligible resistance. So you can say this point: rising temperature, resistance will increase. So what happened to conductance? Decrease in metallic conductances. Why? When we take electrolytic conductance here, when we take in this case effect of temperature, electrolytic conductance, it increase with rising temperature. Rising temperature. It increase with rising temperature. Can you tell why? Simple logic है. See, when we take high temperature, for the solvent there is decrease in the viscosity, because particles will have high energy, so they will cause decrease in the solvent's viscosity. At the same time, ions will have more kinetic energy, then they can dissociate also more easily. We know this common point that with rising temperature there is increase in degree of dissociation. So if we have suppose a weak electrolyte, in weak electrolyte they show more increase in the degree of dissociation with rising temperature, or even we have a strong electrolyte, when the ions will have high kinetic energy, they can move more freely, rapidly. So in both the regions, when we take rising temperature, electrolytic conductance will increase. This point is very important, you keep in mind with region. Okay. Next one can be taken flow of matter. When you take in metallic conductance, they only involve flow of electrons but not matter. But here they involve flow of matter. Ions are moving. Ions are moving from one to second position under the effect of electric field, under the influence of electric field. So you can take here electrolytic conductance involving flow of matter, whereas in this case they don't involve flow of matter. Okay, so it is difference of the metallic and electrolytic conductances. Again, this is quite important. Topic is quite important for different examinations as well. Okay. Now next we take terms involved in conductance further.